everything you need to know about products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on CL 650.
And we're back. This is Experts on Call on CL 650. Today we're keeping it simple. Well, we're trying to. We're talking about general questions when it comes to insurance. And we're also trying to debunk some of the myths surrounding the insurance industry. And we're joined in studio today with Andrew Tablotny from Laguerre Pelling Insurance in Richmond. Also, Patrick Magnuson and Wendy McCracken here, both from Intact Insurance. And just a reminder, if you want more information, please go to the website, intact.ca. That can help answer a few questions for you as well. So here we go, you three. Here's a general question for you. I understand why car insurance uses numbers of years of driving as a factor when determining the car insurance, but why do rates vary from person to person when buying your home insurance?
Well, this might be a tough one to keep simple, but basically on a high level, insurance companies use their historical and statistical information to sort of find out how likely a certain group of people with specific risk characteristics are to make a claim and how much it would cost to get them back to normal. Obviously every home and every family is different. So of course, then the premiums for each of those people should be different as well. So specifically at Intact, the premium is tailored really based on your individual traits and characteristics. Now, of course, each company will have their own appetite for risk, and they might choose to recognize different characteristics, depending on their own historical results, their own rating philosophies, their degree of sophistication, and their willingness or ability to gather data.
It sounds like it's getting complicated.
It is, and I'm trying to keep it simple, so there's lots I won't talk about, but we can probably get into some of the specific factors that might affect what we pay for the home insurance.
So what would some of those factors be?
Well, I guess one of the primary ones is where you live, because that is a big indicator of what the premium is going to be. For instance,
like as in a neighborhood, like which part of the city you live in?
Well,
or?
even that. I mean, the insurance companies now are down to the sophistication that they actually go by the first three digits of your postal code. They rate by postal code. But to put it in simpler terms, like for instance, we're here in Richmond. Well, our earthquake deductibles start at 10%, whereas in Vancouver you can get 5%, because in Richmond, if we do have a big earthquake, we're going to be in a lot worse shape than they are in Vancouver.
And they'd be different as you move into the valley, Pitt Meadows or Maple Ridge or
and
Abbotsford.
And the insurance company look at crime statistics. So if you're in an area of the city that has a lot of crime, then that's factored into it.
Okay.
If you're in an area where there's a lot of, you're by a stream or a river, well, the insurance companies are factoring the water values into that as well.
Yeah. And what other kind of
Andrew,
factors?
it's even getting more narrowed down than just the first three digits of your postal code. We're even getting down to the point through certain geocodings, we're almost right down to your specific latitude and longitude and elevation. So,
well, I've seen maps where they actually, they look for underground water streams that potentially could impact it. So it's
I had no idea it was that specific.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other factors will affect what you pay for home insurance?
Well, here in town, fire protection really isn't an issue, but when you get in the outlying areas, the insurance companies look at how good is the fire department. So is there a fire hydrant within 1,000 feet of you? Is your fire hall within 8 miles or 8 kilometers or 5 miles? And if they are they a volunteer fire department? Are they a paid fire department? And they even have the fire departments rated based on their level of what the insurance companies have in terms of their expertise. So all those things factor into your ratings.
What about the replacement cost of your home?
Sure, as we talked about a little bit earlier, I mean, that is basically the fundamental basis of how your premium is going to be calculated for.
Really?
Is really what you're insuring your home for. All your other coverages are really based off of that. So, obviously the more expensive your home, the higher starting point you're going to be at. Of course, that's the replacement cost of your home. One good thing to remember, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, is that's not what the cost is to sell your home or to buy a new home. And it also does not include the value of your land. It's just the cost to rebuild your home.
Structure.
The same. Exactly.
Wow. What about heat in your home? Is this a factor?
It is. Some forms of heating tend to be a little bit more risky or prone to fire losses than others. So if you have a standalone wood burning stove, that could definitely impact your premium.
Or radiant heat in your floor, or if you have a gas heater or a boiler, or...
Yeah, all those things tend to be fairly similar and there's not too much exposure. And really it's when you start talking about rating. It's more if you have a solid fuel burning appliance that's not just a fireplace.
Okay, I get it. What about the age of your home?
Yeah, the age of your home is another factor on what basic condition it's in. Property rates are lower for newer homes because, obviously with a newer home, you have newer plumbing, you have newer wiring, the roof is new, so there are fewer breakdowns and fewer problems. You have a new hot water tank. A lot of people don't necessarily realize that after approximately 8 years, it's time to change a hot water tank. We get a lot of claims from hot water tanks letting go, and they're generally in the 8-9 year range. A newer home, new hot water tank.
Brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
Different story.
I have a 10-year-old hot water tank sitting in my house right now, so I'm feeling a little bit sheepish.
A little guilty, are you?
Interesting, but when I bought my house in April, it was advertised as having a 10-year-old hot water tank. So the real estate agent advertised that as a plus. So that just goes to show you that, it's got a nice new, only 10-year-old hot water tank.
Well, I don't.
Whereas I read that, I thought, well, great, now it means I got to replace it.
See, I don't see that as a plus. I see that as we're letting you know that this is a 10-year-old water tank, and the new owner is going to need to replace it.
Oh, it was listed under the features.
Oh, it was a feature. So, Andrew, are these all questions that you get asked when someone comes to you to buy home insurance?
No, it's more of the questions we ask our clients. So, how old is the age of your roof? Because that's, the insurance companies now are looking at that because of the amount of claims related to water. Because as the roof breaks down, the potential, especially living here in Vancouver with the rain involved, that's one factor that they look at. Then there's other things like factors like do you have a basement suite? Have you got boarders living in your house? These all raise your rates because the risk is higher because potential for theft and or somebody else leaving a stove on. If you've got a basement suite, that means there's 2 stoves in the house, and tenants statistically are less conscientious about looking after things than people that are actual owner.
It can also raise the replacement cost of your home. If you have to rebuild 2 kitchens versus 1 kitchen, that's twice as expensive.
Good point. Here's another concern, myth or not. And I hear it from friends. I've heard it in conversations at dinner parties about, somebody, something unforeseen has happened to somebody, and they say, I'm not going to make a claim for that because I don't want my insurance to go up. So what kind of truth is that? If I make a claim, will my insurance automatically go up?
Well, it depends and on the company and the type of claim. Some companies, there's certain types of claims that they don't. For instance, glass claims or voluntary property damage. Sometimes companies won't charge against your claims-free discount. One advantage of with Intact is if you've been claims-free for 5 years, they actually offer a no claims-free bonus. So if you have a claim, if you purchase that coverage, on your first claim, they don't actually raise your rates the following year. Most companies, you have a no claims discount. It's just like your car insurance. If you have an accident.
I was going to say ICBC ran something like that as well.
Right. Sure. So you've got to pick and choose, and that's another advantage of having a broker because you phone up and say, look, I've got this claim. It's going to be $800, and I've got a $500 deductible. Should I make a claim? Well, I'm able to advise the client on depending on which company they're with that whether or not how that's going to impact them and what the potential extra premiums they're going to pay over the next 3 years or even 5 years with some companies, what that's going to do. So you have to really make sure that you understand what that claim is how it's going to impact you, because if you have the second one and it's even bigger, you're not going to say, well, gee, I'll eat the $3,000 claim when I could have eaten the $700 claim.
Yeah, I mean, in general, one of the rating factors is year since your last claim. So if you just had a claim, I guess in theory, your insurance, you won't get as much of a discount based off that variable. Like I said, like Andrew was saying, Intact, they actually have 2 different products, the Claims-Free Protector, as well as our Lifestyle Advantage product, which is geared towards the 50-plus clientele, which has a whole suite of different coverages in there. But one of those is a claims-free protector.
I guess just one of the benefits of making sure that your coverage is from Intact Insurance. And you can get more information online at intact.ca. You're listening to Experts on Call on CL 650. We are talking to the insurance experts today. Patrick Magnuson and Wendy McCracken have joined us from Intact Insurance, along with our resident broker, Andrew Tablotny of Laguerre Pelling Insurance here in Richmond. Coming up next in the show, we've got some helpful information about homeowners insurance right here on CL 650.
This is Experts on Call on CL 650.